a brand new trailer for Code Vein 2, as well as a developer message straight out of Tokyo Game Show. For fans of the original Code Vein, especially its story and characters, some bad news. This game is not the same world as Code Vein 1. And I think some people might have already put that together, not just mentioning the difference in art style, which they do explain in the developer message, but because of the way altering time works, they decided not to go with using the same world as 1, because you can alter events and, that messes everything up. In this world, as far as I could tell from the developer message, it seems like Revenants have just been a thing for a very long time. And for those of us who played the original game and wanted a continuation of that, unfortunately, it seems like that's not the direction they're going. They still technically could kind of weasel it in. You have time traveling already. Who's to say jumping to a different world is not possible in like a DLC or something, but probably won't happen in the main story. So, to temper your expectations, Code Vein 2 is more of a Final Fantasy-esque sequel, where there are elements that are similar between the two games, but it's not directly connected. Which is a little frustrating because Code Vein 1 ends on a cliffhanger, but it is what it is. I cannot change the past or future, so... That said, this did contain some interesting little tidbits otherwise. I just kind of wanted to make this really quick and get this information out there to you guys. We got a release date. It's January 30th of next year, which is a lot closer than I thought it would be. I thought this game was at least, maybe spring or summer, further out there, but early 2026 is pretty good. It's almost time. If you didn't watch any previews, then there's also the confirmation that the character customizer is back. It is way more robust. There's actually some footage in the developer message I'll show on screen right now, but there's a lot here. A lot more than even Code Vein 1, which is crazy. I remember when there was a whole thing about them adjusting height because it changes your hitbox and something like that. Then maybe I'm misremembering, but I vaguely remember this, that they didn't want to adjust height too much because being able to alter your character's stature meant different hitboxes and hurt boxes, which they didn't want to do because that tinkers with the difficulty a bit. We'll see how far this goes into customizability, but it's certainly interesting, at least to me. Last thing otherwise is the combat in this trailer actually looks pretty good. I think it looks a lot smoother. I'm curious how they're intending to make it so that when you alter the timeline in the past, that future bosses change and things like that. I think that's an interesting concept, but it really depends on how they execute it. Otherwise, they talked also about the partner system and how it looks fairly different from the first game. It's still generally the same concept, but you kind of summon the character into battle from your blood veil, I think it was, which is a cool idea. Otherwise, there's also the openness of the game. I guess this game is going for a much more kind of open-worldy approach. I'm not sure how open-world it is, if it's just open areas with linear paths, or if it's more like big open-world game. There's so much to explore. I'm not sure which direction they're going in. My hope is more the former, where it's open enough, but it's mostly linear areas, so the exploration is not as big of a focus. But they did say that you can go to different story paths, you can kind of choose what you want to do. Very Breath of the Wild style idea to how you present your story, but I'm sure there's still going to be a solid beginning and end, at least. Maybe you can charge straight to the final boss, who knows. Either way, that's just kind of a quick breakdown of the new information that we got, but otherwise, that's what we got. That's Code Vein 2, coming out January 30th. I'm pretty excited for it. I will say that learning that this is a completely separated world from the first game does make me a little less excited about it. Hopefully it's good, and that's really all I got. So, thanks for watching. Oh, and you can subscribe if you want to hear more about Code Vein and JRPGs. We'll be covering whatever comes out for it, and I'll be covering the game post-launch as well, to some extent. I'm not really sure in what form that'll take. Either way, thanks, and see you guys next time.